Hi, Slevis from the A&O show. Again, excuse my voice. I'm still running out a bit of a cold or flu, whatever, under the weather this past week. So, just finished watching Monarch episode 7. Yes, 7. Um, Will the real May stand up? Basically, I think the name of the title is. It's a backstory to the tech girl named, well, her fake name is May. In the episode, you'll find out her real name is Cora, and why was she like on the run all these years, and how she got from one position to another, and it kept going back and forth in a way. So the episode started with her basically in the last episode they got stuck in the desert, so they chose to go away from Shaw and the other girl and go into civilization so they don't, die in the desert and whatever the case. They found an airport or something and they were on the way to just go home. So then May just so happened to be kidnapped, basically, to from somebody from her past, a company that she used to work for. So the brother and the main character, they were like, oh, we gotta go find her, like where she's at, blah blah blah. And they happened to find a guy, one of the guy from Monarch, and he happened to survive like a plane crash from the previous episode. And they team up to go find May in exchange for helping him find Shaw and what he's up to. So they bring up to the previous episode of Shaw invading warehouse, one of the outposts from Monarch, and there was a lot of weapons in there, and just having a hostage, and one security person happened to escape, and they called the head Monarch person to see like what's going on over there. So she calls, I think his name is Tim, the guy who's with the main character from Monarch. Tim happens to get a call from the head boss from Monarch, and like, okay, like, make a deal with the kids, to help her friend, this, that, whatever. She doesn't approve, suspends him, like he's on his own. And, they decide to work it out. So they ended up going to May's old town, Seattle, and happen to find out the address of May, but Tim happens to know that that's not her real name. Her real name is Cora, and like basically his information go that far. So she has a family, like a what's it called? Obviously a mom, sister, stuff like that, and they don't know about Cora, her life, or anything like that. Apparently, they said that they haven't known for 2 years, but her sister seems suspicious, like she knows something, and she knows like, oh, they were like trying to lie to her and play it cool, but she figured something was up. So they kind of like her sister right after like they left the house. Her sister stalked. She went somewhere to like a parking lot or whatever the case may be, and they stalked her to that parking lot, and that's when they told her the truth about what's going on. They had a couple of flashbacks of her going to a company. I think it's called AAW something. Basically, it's a tech company, and then like I guess they were trying to use her skills, her hacking skills, to like you know go up in the corporation, but she got mad or something like that, that they were going to pay her much. So I guess what she had to cause her, I guess she put a virus or a code that kind of like erased all her data or whatever the case may be. But in the previous, but in the what's it called? Previous episode, not the previous episode, the flashbacks basically. that she found out that they were doing something horrible to like animals and stuff like that, and that had an evil intention or a code or whatever the case may be. So like she ended up running away, leaving her family, leaving her life, went to Japan, new name, new passport, blah blah blah. And that's why she ran away. That's when fast forward, then she met the brother Kentaro and so forth. That's the majority of the flashbacks. So she got acquainted with the big boss. That's where they took her back to Seattle. And they were like, "Oh, you got a choice. Like, I don't know, you seen the Titans, the monsters. Like, you could either go to, go help her be a spy and learn about the Titans, or I'ma sue you or all the money you got, basically, to go." Now they try to rescue her from the office, and Tim put like a little security alarm that say like a Titan. So like the whole city just goes berserk, like an alarm, like, oh, they all start running and screaming through the building. But the boss knew that it was a false alarm and blah blah blah, basically. But she knows about Monarch, and she knows about what the Titans and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, this is your friends trying to go, so you got a choice, like, I'll get everything clean, you don't have to pay anything, all you gotta do is be a spy and keep living a lie, or take the hit, take the consequences, and the money, you're gonna have to pay all that money and the consequences and jail time and all this other stuff. So she decides to just take the hit, the consequences. Like, she don't want that life no more or anything like that or whatever. So she like kind of shuns and get the main character. I keep forgetting her damn name. Whatever her name, and her brother Kentaro. And so they just walk away, and they were like, "Oh, we gotta do something." I think she knows that she wants something from them. Blah blah blah. And like she goes, and then they quickly gets kidnapped by the Monarch boss. I think her name is Victoria, Victory, something. I don't know. So they were like, "Oh, y'all need to go home, blah blah blah, this that whatever." But they kind of convinced her that, "Oh, like, I got through Titans, her father, and Godzilla without Monarch's help. How you gonna find Shaw?" Because her main just is trying to find Shaw. She's like, "Oh, if you help get May out of here, then we could go find Shaw. They'll help him find Shaw and whatever he's planning." So she, at the end, she ends up agreeing, and what's it called? She calls in a favor. I guess she made a deal with the company, and basically, in a way, May is free, and she's able to see her family again and whatever. So basically, they have to keep their agreement, so they're on a way to go find Shaw. And May decides to join them. Basically, be like, "Listen, I know whatever agreement that they did, it's not fully good. So, I'm gonna help you guys. You're not off the leash, just like whatever." So she decides to join. And Tim says to her boss Victoria, I think, "Oh, you gotta make like an announcement, like get Monarch out of the shadow." So because they need to, why everybody terrified about a Titan attack and what's the security thing and blah blah blah. So they made like a huge announcement to the world, like Monarch is here to protect you, in the version of Titans, so we could so we could survive and stuff like that. And yeah, and then towards the end of it, what's it called? The the other company girl was, I think her name is Brenda or something. I might be getting all these names fucked up and confused, so don't mind me right now. She's calling her boss, and I guess her boss is something for like something mechanics, something A mechanics. which is like the company slash rival of Monarch, and they tend to like use like they're in the movies, and they tend to like buy and use technology to try to control the Titans and then control the humans as well, so make themselves superior. So that kind of leads up to the next episode in a way. And the episode ends that Shaw, that he got all the explosives and stuff like that, and he went back to Alaska to where the ice monster is. He just decides to like blow stuff up and whatever the case may be, and then the ice monster pops up, and then they start getting explosive, and they make a hole that I guess that goes into the other dimension, not other dimension, the other world where the Titans live, and it just opens, and that's how the episode ends. And I was like, oh, okay. So overall, it's not a bad episode. Like, I like the going on the journey and mystique of, I wasn't that interested in the character May, but now that I know her backstory in a way, and it was intriguing as well. So I was like, okay, I could accept this. I like it. It's not the best episode. What drags it down a little bit is the dialogue sometimes, mostly with Kantaro and his sister, the main character, and then sometimes May as well. Tim was good. I like Tim. And the episode where Shaw was there, like he was good. Like other people are good, but just the main character that we're following, their dialogues, at least in a few parts, are a bit cringy in a way. Like type 13, 14-year-old dialogue, cringy in a way. I was just like so basic, so I don't know, out of tone. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. But besides the point, like it was good. Like the story was convincing, good enough. The backstory was good enough, intriguing back and forth. I do miss the older characters, like going back to the past, like past with the grandma and and then younger Shaw and stuff like that. I like when they're there and their dialogue are like great. Their chemistry is great. That's what it is, chemistry. Like their chemistry for the main characters in the present are a bit off in a way. Like sometimes there's a few moments that it clicks, but then it's a lot that don't. It's more negatives than positives when it clicks in chemistry. So the visuals was good. Wasn't that much visuals in here. It was more storytelling and backstory, with the exception of the monsters in the back. I mean, in the end. So, overall, I give this episode a 7. So I give this episode a 7. Not a bad. Like I said, it's in the middle tiers right now of the episodes, basically, as I'll rank them. So, um, not bad at all. If you've seen it, or if you just following what I've been saying in the recaps, tell me what you think, or whatever the case may be. If you like it, if you don't like it, why yes, why not. And please share, subscribe, support. And I'll see you guys for one more episode, basically, I'm gonna put up today. So I'll see you guys for then. Bye bye.